Well, looks like we officially have a mystery on our hands. Hey guys, it's Chris, and in today's video, I'm talking about Scooby Doo, The Mystery Begins. Scooby Doo, The Mystery Begins was released back in 2009 and was made for TV that they aired on Cartoon Network. So essentially made for TV. It's not going to have a budget of a full-fledged movie. Scooby Doo, The Mystery Begins is a comedy / loosely horror kids movie. It does get pretty dark in some scenes, in some parts, to say the least. Scooby Doo, The Mystery Begins is a reboot of the last 2 live-action movies, Scooby Doo 2002, or Scooby Doo the Movie, and Scooby Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. The movie shows how Mystery Inc. met in the events of their very first case. Let's get into it! The Mystery of the Specter. The Specter is haunting Coolsville High School. He wants to close the school and scare away the students and the staff. He's looking for the time capsule that is buried 200 feet under the new school. 100 years ago, the Coolsville Dam burst the day the time capsule was going to be buried, killing hundreds of people. The Great Coolsville Flood. The capsule was never found and is still in the old academy ruins. The gang is accused of the damages to the school and must unmask the culprit to clear their names. Fun fact, Scooby Doo The Mystery Begins was the most watched TV movie in Cartoon Network history. It had 6.1 million viewers for its premiere, and that was back in 2009. First, the biggest positive of the movie, the mystery. The mystery has all the suspects you would expect, but subverts your expectations. The culprit in this one isn't as obvious compared to past adaptations like Scooby Doo 2002. Once you know they kicked out Scrappy Doo and he wants to get revenge against them, oh, he's the culprit. Heather Jasper Howe, Dr. Jonathan Jacobo, he survived the fall off the prison wall. It was obviously he was the culprit. So in this one, the culprit's not as obvious. The gang looks for clues. They talk about suspects. Each member of the gang brings something to the mystery. It's not just Fred or Velma solving the mystery, it's everyone. You know, the mystery is, if not the biggest positive of the movie, because it's not predictable, you know? It actually makes you think, and, oh, maybe it's this person, or maybe it's her, maybe it's the janitor. Next, the callback and references. When Shaggy's looking for Scooby-Doo, he says and yells, "Scooby-Doo, where are you?" The green van before its groovy paint job. They actually say Scooby-Doo's real name in Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins, Scoobert Doo. The Specter is essentially another version of the masked figure from Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. You know, he's just actually working with real ghosts, where in Scooby-Doo 2, he's working with real monsters. So it's essentially just another version of that masked figure, but still a guy in a mask with a robe. What is he, Ghostface? Velma is blind without her glasses, and it's like that in a lot of Scooby-Doo adaptations. When Velma doesn't have her glasses, she's essentially blind like a bat. In What's New Scooby-Doo, in the Unnatural episode, a baseball stadium is built on top of the old stadium. Essentially the same thing in Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins. They built a new school on top of the old academy ruins. The theme song from What's New Scooby-Doo is used in the ending montage, which they changed to What's Up Scooby-Doo. It's essentially the same melody, same song, same chorus, but he says What's Up Scooby-Doo instead of What's New Scooby-Doo, which I thought was a little odd. Why didn't you just use the theme song from What's New Scooby-Doo? You're using all the words and all the lines, so why don't you just say What's New Scooby-Doo? What's Up Scooby-Doo? I was like, that odd choice in my opinion. The ending montage even features some iconic shots from Scooby-Doo Where Are You opening intro in live action. Alright, we talked about the biggest positive, the callbacks, and the references. Now let's talk about my biggest complaint, the CGI. And if you've been watching this channel for a while now, you know I'm a big CGI guy. And the ghost in Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins look okay. They don't look as bad as the monsters from Scooby-Doo 2002. Scooby-Doo's CGI, on the other hand, looks worse than the two past live action movies. The two past live action movies, Scooby Doo 2002 and Scooby Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, had roughly of a budget of $80 million. And I'm assuming Scooby Doo The Mystery Begins, probably the way everything looks, probably had a budget of $4 to $5 million. So I can kind of look past how Scooby Doo's CGI doesn't look good is because they didn't have a budget for it, because it was made for TV movie for Cartoon Network. Scooby Doo The Mystery Begins is an underappreciated Scooby Doo movie. The mystery is not predictable, for once. The chemistry between the gang feels right and not forced. The movie does feel cheaper in some parts compared to the past live action movies. You know, doesn't have a big budget. The Mystery Begins has the dark mythos you'd expect from Scooby Doo. This is a more family-friendly movie compared to the two past live action movies. No cannabis jokes. This cast does not hold a candle to the past live action movies cast. I mean, like I said in those videos, the cast for just those movies were just perfection. Like, they just got the casting down perfect. This is a Scooby-Doo movie with amusing charm and shouldn't be missed by Scooby-Doo fans, even if the past live-action movies are superior. Alright, that was me talking about Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins. I'm Spider-ManChris, and I'll see you in the next one.